It says you're live. And here we are, I am live with my new haircut. I'm loving it. Loving it. Less maintenance. Long hair takes a lot of maintenance. Anyway, here we are again, another Sunday together. And you know what? You read the title, haven't you? The three bullshits. The three bullshits. The three bullshits of the average man. And by the time I explain the three bullshits to you, you'll be completely like, yeah, that completely makes sense. So bear with me today. You see, the average man's world, okay, this is the source, you could call it the sorcerer's explanation of why the average man's world is the way it is. So if someone is wondering, okay, why is the world the way it is? There are many, explanations and answers. Here's the Toltec sorcerer's explanation. I would like to say the definitive explanation of why the average man's world is the way it is. It's because of these three bullshits. The average man's world is completely comprised of these three bullshits. And there's literally just very little room for anything else. And then later on I'll tell you what the Toltec warrior does about all this. These three bullshits in the average man's world. And how it really serves him with the strategy that the Toltec warrior uses. So what are the three bullshits? T-A-B. T for truth. One of the first bullshits of the average man. The primary, Oriel, the primary bullshit of them all. So we'll put it first. For dramatic effect, I should have put it third, but here we go. T-A-B, truth. The search for truth. Seeking the truth. Truth. This big grand word that the average man is completely hypnotized by. And the parasite makes amazing use of that word to create endless mazes and tunnels. All of them having their own individual hamster wheels that the average man can happily just, like a little hamster, just keep going, and then hop onto another truth little hamster wheel and then go on that for a while. And all those mazes and tunnels are interconnected, so you never get out. The bullshit of truth. One of the major questions nowadays, notice, you ask this yourself. Is it true? Is it true? Is it true? Oh, is it true? Maybe it's not. Is it true? Oh, really? Is it true? Oh, Corona, is it true? Oh, no, it's a scam. Is it true? Is it true? Is what he's saying true? Is what Anaam saying true? Is what she's saying true? Is it true? Is it true? And your brains are getting fried by this question. Is it true? Is it true? The first bullshit that will occupy you knock yourself out for as many reincarnations as you wish. The search for truth and the associated question, is it true? There's no way to know, but people just love it. Oh, I'm a seeker. I'm a truth seeker. Is it true? Okay. The second one, so that's T. What's A? Agreement. I agree with this. Or, I don't agree with this. Oh yeah, I agree with you. I agree with David Icke. Oh, I agree with Trump. I don't agree with Trump. I agree with my mom. I don't agree with my father. I agree with my best friend. I don't agree with my boyfriend. I agree. I disagree. I agree. I disagree. Think about it. Wasting so much time, energy, words, having 5-hour conversations about who agrees with who and who doesn't agree with whom, and how much I agree with someone and who doesn't agree with what, and who and why and where and what. The Toltec warrior just doesn't have the time, the sheer time, to engage in this agreement-disagreement game. So what's the Toltec warrior not doing? The Toltec warrior stays away from seeking the truth and constantly thinking, is it true? Is it not true? The Toltec warrior also stays away from agreeing and disagreeing. Do I agree? I don't agree. I disagree. I don't agree. What he said I agree with. What she said I disagree with. Right? And the third one, belief. Belief. I believe. I disbelieve. I believe in Jesus. I don't believe in Buddha. I believe in science. I don't believe in conspiracy theories. I believe in the news. I do not believe in these YouTube videos. I believe, I don't believe. And then you have the other side. I believe in conspiracy theories and I don't believe in BBC. And you have all these people. The same game is three sides of the same coin, really. Seeking to agree or disagree, constantly looking, your radar is constantly on. Do I agree? I don't agree. Oh, do I believe or I don't believe? Do I believe? Oh, I don't believe. Do I not believe? No, I do believe. That's stupid. The third one, the real self-righteous. I seek the truth. Brother, sister, come, I seek the truth. Come. The three bullshits. The Toltec warrior is just standing on the corner, chewing a little, and just looking at this shenanigans in town and just going, what the hell, man? The three bullshits of the average man. Now I challenge you, I invite you even to verify this for yourself. Look around you and look within. What's happening in the world today? What's happening within you? And tell me that everything you think you know about yourself and others, and everything everyone else is talking about doesn't fall into these three categories which are interrelated. So a little bit of that, and a big bit of that. But these three flavors of ice cream, everyone's having these three flavors of ice cream. They don't even know that there are any other flavors available. Insomnia, IBS, stomach, all these nonsensical, depression. It's a genetic, it's in the genes. We should, I'm depressed. Oh, it's in the genes. It's a chemical thing. There's nothing I can do about it. The doctor says it's a chemical thing. I have to be on drugs for life. I agree, disagree. What's the truth? What's not the truth? I believe, I don't believe. Anyone who controls these three factors in someone's life, I'm giving you a very, very powerful spin on the three bullshits. And I really, I trust that this video, which will continue as long as YouTube will continue, I trust that anyone who watches from here on out will not abuse this. But this knowledge must be gained in order to gain clarity about yourself. And that slight spin on the three bullshits is what? Anyone who controls these three factors in anyone's life will completely control that person, completely. To the very cells and the atoms and the marrow of the bones. Completely control that person. And that is what the parasite completely depends upon. The parasite controls these three aspects of your life. Is it true or not true? Do you believe or not believe? Do you agree and don't agree? You see how weak and helpless it makes anyone in the average man's club. Anyone who has this knowledge can come along and start working black magic on them, and it doesn't take long to brainwash people. Really, you've seen it. It really doesn't take long. And there you go, they start doing your bidding. So use this spin on the three bullshits with great care. Use it on yourself to free yourself of these three things. And I'll tell you what the Toltec warrior does instead. And do that one instead. I've previously talked about the idea of maintaining, transacting, and generating high quality energy. That has nothing to do with positive thinking and being happy all the time. It has to do with honesty and expressing yourself honestly, authentically, in alignment with your conscience at all times, in alignment with your spirit at all times, right? That alone will keep you away from all sorts of nonsense and black magic that you want to be doing because you're pissed off at someone and you feel like, oh, right? High quality energy. Secondly, don't take yourself seriously. Did this live last time. If you haven't watched it, go and watch that live. These two are the perfect antidotes to the three bullshits. Don't believe your own bullshit, and always generate, maintain, and transact high quality energy. If you do that, you'll remain immune to the three bullshits. Now here's what the Toltec warrior does with the three bullshits. The Toltec warrior instead completely ignores these three and instead goes for the question, is it useful? Is it useful? That's the question that the Toltec warrior asks instead when confronted with information, with experiences, with whatever, daily life. The question that's running in the Toltec warrior's head is, is it useful for me? Let's have a look at it quickly. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is useful. Let's keep it. That one, rubbish, ignore. That one, rubbish, ignore. Ooh, that one's useful. Is it useful? Is it useful? Is it useful? That's way more streamlined. I hear you, Colin. Thank you from Canada. I receive it. Thank you. I receive it. I receive it. And I send straight back at you, multiplied. Right? Ignore the incredible waste of time, energy, and your personal resources. People spend money joining cults and giving to these Catholic churches. You know how rich the Catholic Church is? How do you think the Catholic Church is so rich? They're one of the richest entities on the earth. It would dwarf these billionaires without blinking an eyelid. You know how this Catholic Church is so rich, the Vatican? Yeah, it's rich because the average man keeps giving money. So people spend a lot of money even on, do I believe, I don't believe? Do I agree, I don't agree? Go and join meetup groups and this and that and all sorts of things in order to find agreement clubs. Religion is a belief club. Everyone believes the same thing, so it's, that's my religion. Agreement is all these other clubs, all friends get together. Anyone you're friends with is people you either believe the same thing, agree the same thing, or seeking the same kind of truth. Look around your friends and tell me if that's not true. The Toltec warrior ignores this entire game, which is the only game in town for the average man, and goes for the question, is it useful for me? Is it useful for me? You know why? Because of two unalterable facts of life. One is, the Toltec warrior is aware that she will die. Secondly, she's not aware when she will die. And it is incredibly hard to change to this format, this paradigm. It it really is. It takes, you'll be surprised how much, it takes a lot of sinking in of this absolute fact of life. It's like there's no debate, man. It's not philosophy. This is what happens. And the average man consistently and constantly behaves as if it's not true. So the average man has time for agreements and disagreements, big debates about, oh, yes, yes, oh, no, 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 oh, how dare you, oh, yes, yes, yes. On and on throughout their life. They get old and die doing all this. Believe and disbelieve, agree, disagree, and is it the truth? Is it true? The Toltec warriors knows the nature of reality, because the Toltec warrior can see it, can see how energy flows in the universe. The Toltec warrior knows that it's energy. Energy will take the shape of whatever you agree with, whatever you believe, and whatever you think is true. Energy will just mold itself to it. In other words, your assemblage point will assemble experiences that mold themselves to whatever you think is true and not true. Whatever you think and your little cronies, your little circle of friends thinks is agreed and not agreed on, or whatever your little religious freaking club says is to be believed and not to be believed, or politicians, it's all the same game. Politics and Hollywood, entertainment, politics and religion, exactly the same game, totally and utterly the same game. There's no difference whatsoever. And they work on the game of the hamster wheel of belief. Believe this, you shall be saved. Believe, don't believe, and this and that, and all the rest of it. The Toltec warrior goes, yeah, that's all good, but is it useful? If it's useful, I'll be the best Catholic there ever bloody lived, because it's useful to me. And the moment it stops being useful to me is the moment I'm gone. I won't even miss anyone, because I'm too busy looking for the next thing that's useful. I don't have the time. Now that doesn't mean that the Toltec warrior is friendless and alone, and no. If the Toltec warrior wants, she can be as popular as she wants. She can be as sought after, or with many friends, as big socialite. There have been many Naguals in history who have been big socialites. Even in Hollywood there have been. I know at least one. Big star, right? And obviously knows everyone and everything, and played the game very well, I must say. So if it serves the Toltec warrior's purposes of usefulness, then the Toltec warrior will do an absolutely impeccable job of it. Absolutely impeccable. If it doesn't serve the Toltec warrior's predilections or usefulness, then you won't even find him there. Because what's the point? It's just wasting time, right? Now the question arises, useful for what? What's it useful for? It's useful for personal freedom. That's the question. Yeah, I knew you guys would be like, oh my God, tell us who that star, oh please tell us. You know what the warrior's answer to that one is, Ozzy? Live your life as a warrior, learn to see as a warrior, connect with the web of life like a warrior does, and it will be revealed to you anyway. Wouldn't you rather want that than just someone telling you, I'll give you 5 names. How do you know any one of them is true? I'll give you 10 names. I'll give you 1 name. How do you know that it's true what I'm saying? I could be just talking completely just like whatever, just having fun, right? So it's better you empower yourself. It may take 10 years, 20 years. So what? It's just a little question. Pull that question. Say, oh, it was that question that got me to be a warrior because I was so curious. Good. Pull along that thread. So what is useful for the warrior? The warrior has her eyes on the prize at all times. That is one thing that the warrior never gets distracted with. All the shenanigans of the average man's world, which is the jump to personal freedom and then staying there, just stay there. Stay on that razor thin edge of personal freedom. That's why the warrior cannot afford agreements and disagreements, beliefs and disbeliefs, and is this true? No. It must not be true. And all this nonsense. The warrior just doesn't have all that time. So the warrior straight goes for, is this useful? And moves along from there. I hope that makes sense to you guys. If you employ this method in all your COVID conversations and your, politicians and religions, whatever conversations that you want to have with people, right? And feel like you've sorted out the world at the end of the day, having those conversations, nothing really happened, you haven't changed, no one else changed, you just gasped with your mouth and people walked off. Try this tack instead. Hey, right now, am I doing what is useful? You may, 99% of the time, you'll find that engaging in these nonsensical conversations of, is it true or not? Do I agree with it or not? And do I believe it or not? Are a complete waste of time, your time, completely an energy. If you do engage, you'll have an agenda, you'll have a strategy, you'll engage with a purpose. No, not just wasting your time. You'll start picking and choosing what is useful. You'll verify what's coming at you very differently. So this is the reorientation for today. I hope you can make use of it. And let's take one question. Let's see, does anyone have any question about this topic? Don't ask random questions. Does anyone have any questions about this topic? What is the question? Anyone asking the question? No? Mariah, welcome. Thank you for sharing. I needed to hear this. Yes, it'll save you so much stress and so many bullshit conversations that go nowhere and only make enemies, right? Just go for what is useful. It takes time and practice. And eventually it'll become your default radar. It'll become your default radar. The problem is you have to overcome all that education, all the white man's education that stuffed into you for, say, 18 odd years, 16 odd years at least. And that education revolves around these three bullshits. Do I agree with it or not? Pass that exam. Oh, got an A+ in my test. Yeah, because you just agreed really well or believed really well or answered the question, is it true or not, really well. That's all it was. Oh, my kid has been accepted to university. Oh, yes, my child is going to university. And the Toltec warrior is just going, yeah, good. Send more children to university. Right? So, any questions? If not, I'm going to sign off. Let's have a look. Ozzy's saying thank you. So to get the jab or not, is it useful either way? Yeah, find out. Find out first what the jab really is. Anaam. Donald Anaam. Are there any... Reality Backstage asking, are there any apprentice slots available under your warrior wings at the moment? As it happens, Reality, I can put you on a waiting list. There seems to be a strange trend that the male apprentices that I take on, they have real tenacity for some reason. And I'm not saying the female apprentices don't, because the ones who stick around and have stuck around, man, they are already becoming powerful people, powerful women. But the women tend to leave quicker. Because I know why, but if I say that, I'll get all these what do you call them, SJW types. Well, they don't even watch these kind of channels, but maybe that's a conversation for another live. Why women apprentices, at least in my experience, tend to leave quicker. There's a bigger turnaround. For example, amongst the original male apprentices, 4, I believe, 4 of them are still with me. Of the original women apprentices, only one's left. And there's a big turnaround. So if you're a woman, get in touch. If you're a man, there's a waiting list, but I can't put you on it. My email is in one of the descriptions of the videos. I'll say no more. Find it and email me. All right, questions. Satima, she is brilliant. Satimara, I cannot recommend her enough. She is an amazing lady, amazing woman. Oriel's got a great question. Let's go with this one. Would this be a method of determining one's path with heart? Oriel, the answer is self-evident, right? If a path with heart is not useful for a Toltec warrior, all right, let's reframe this. If a path with heart is not useful for a creature that doesn't know when they're going to die and that knows for a fact that they're going to die, what are you going to do with that thing? It has to be useful, right? So as soon as you start asking questions, is this useful to give me freedom? Is this useful to give me freedom? Is this useful to give me freedom? And if the answer is yes, that is useful. I'll give you an example to make it a bit more concrete. I've been a singer since I was 18, and I've been a professional singer roughly about from that time, right? I got into Indian classical music, and I really, explored singing in real depth and detail. I've been a singing coach for many years, decades. But 3-4 years ago, I got into Indian classical singing. There's no debate, it's not philosophy. It is the toughest, most demanding form of training of vocal ability in this world. You just really have to be on it, and you cannot enter that arena if it's not a path with heart for you, or one of the paths with heart for you. You know why? Because you'll just leave. You'll gain a certain level with it, you'll stick it out, and then you'll leave. That's it, it'll be over. But those who stay and stay and stay and stay because it's a path with heart for them, and it continues to be useful. You know why? Because when you study something really deeply for decades and decades and really get good at it and good at it and good at it, and each day you find, wow, I'm becoming better than I was ever before, but I'm knowing less and less. It's like there's so much more. 1 inch into the ocean means nothing. Before I was 1 centimeter in, now I am 1 inch in the ocean. It means nothing. I know nothing. And that is, in Hindi, there's a word called sadhana. Sadhana. For a Toltec warrior, I recommend it highly. I've talked about it a couple of times to some of the apprentices, but none of them are ready yet for a sadhana. Because it's a sadhana that will pull you along, that you can depend upon every day, that grows your spirit, grows your soul. and takes you closer and closer to yourself and freedom. And so sadhana for a Toltec warrior is, man, it's one of the best tools, the most useful. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. It would behoove anyone interested into really learning the contexts, the meanings of this Sanskrit word sadhana. In English, you guys write it in a strange way. You write it as SADHANA. So that might come up in. Don't use Google, use DuckDuckGo at the very least. That should come up in your search engine. And really the etymology, do an impeccable job. Find out what does an Indian person mean when they say sadhana. And here's another word I'll give you. Find out, do the research, get right in there and learn over a period of time the context of this other word as well. Dhyan. Dhyan. Dhyan means, it doesn't mean focus, it doesn't mean concentration. It means, just do your research and get to your own, not your own, but get to the context in which the word is used in Hindi. It'll do you good. It'll untrap you from English, one of the most violent machine languages. If the Borg would speak, the Borg from Star Trek, if they could speak, they'd use English. Or they'd use Latin, really, because Latin is a machine code. So with that, I hope this is a useful live for you. Don't watch this as, is it true? Do I agree? Or do I believe? Watch this as, is this useful to make me free? Sorry, it's so hilarious. No, yeah. The average man is hilarious. Oh my God, it's just brilliant. It's brilliant. The insanity is just hilarious. Anyway, I shall see you guys next week, 8 p.m. I might or might not do a video, or I might do live. I don't know yet, but we'll see. All right. Walk in freedom, everyone, and have a great week ahead. High quality energy, sadhana, dhyan, lots of inner silence, lots. Inner silence is like the greens you should be having every day. All right. Take care. Bye for now.